Hi, everybody. It's, what is the date? It's October 6th. No, it's October 6th. It's Sunday night with ILXCTF. I'm Mike Newman. We're going to talk cross country. We're going to talk about Bears first. 37 to, I think it was 10 or something like that. I don't think I turned it to red zone. Usually, I'm turning to red zone when the Bears get fall behind and they're not going to win. And today was like, well, Bears are way ahead. I'm turning this off. Oh my gosh. Well, they played good. They played good. But then again, it's Carolina. Minnesota looks really good. I mean, they look good. Green Bay is playing right now. Detroit doesn't play this week. I'm just looking at NFC North teams. We can go through and do analysis. Roland is going to do speed ratings. This game with with football things. Oh, he ran that in. He ran that touchdown back for 100 yards. And Roland go, yeah, it's a 182.42. So anyway, it was a relaxing week. It was just busy. It was busy the last 2 weeks with everything going on. And then it was busy last week too. And this week gets hectic because we have Twilight coming up on Wednesday. And then we have some smaller meets in the weekend. Then we go into conference week. And that's always busy. So I don't know how many meets I'm going to make it out to. We'll see. Anyhow, let's talk about the meets that did happen. Um, I was at Wheaton North, the Falcon Classic. It's a flight meet. It's very relaxed, with the exception of the dead skunk that was on the side of the course. Runners were going past doing surges because it really stunk. I mean, bad. I interviewed somebody, I can't remember who it was, where she said, I didn't smell anything. I was concentrating. I was concentrating on race. I'm like, good answer. I'm like, yeah, you smelt it. You just want to get the heck away from that. Le Pew. Uh, I mean, it used to be like on Prairie Path runs where I'd go on a long run. And when I got back closer to Elmhurst, you get to the Ovaltine plant. Now, the Ovaltine plant is an apartment building, but there was chocolate wafting out of there, and you're smelling it, going, oh, that smells so good. Then you go over 83, and then you have the sewage preparatory uh, thing, gnats flying around, and I never liked that. I really I enjoyed. I slowed down for a little bit, enjoy the chocolate smells and all of that. Um, York girls won at Wheaton North. No surprise, they're 9 points. Uh, Hersey was 17, Nina with 25. Impre- Impressed with Janowski, Carlin Janowski of York. Uh, right at 17 men, she was going for it. She just goes out and runs, and I think I said that before. Um, and she won by 13 seconds over Madeline Bialko of Hersey. And Hersey, I mean, this is flight races are time trials against other teams. Okay. It's just, mm, I never ran a flight race in my life. It was like, yeah, you're on varsity, you're going to Peoria this weekend. Any case, um, yeah, one day till bloodbath Monday. Uh, any case, uh, Janowski looked good, and she looks good. She has 2 weeks. Conference should be really fun to watch. West Suburban Silver with York going against Downers Grove North. York, I think I said 5 out of 7 flights they were going to win. They won 5 out of 7. Uh, Elena Maminga of St. Francis. I saw her run last year at State Track, but I've never seen her run cross country. She won by what, 37 seconds in the second flight? St. Francis could have, they were talking to Aaron Hinsdale and Maminga, um, and they were saying, yeah, we're really upset that we missed All State. They're not going to miss All State this year. They're running with more confidence. They're stronger. And St. Francis could be going after a trophy if their fourth and fifth runners get up. Hard to tell yesterday, or yeah, yesterday, um, in the flight races and all of that, but they look pretty good, and they look really good. Um, them, Maminga Hinsdale and Margaret Andrzejewski, finished third in flight three. But York, 5 out of 7 flights, won. Uh, Maggie Quinn ran a great race. She won by almost 45 seconds. Sophia Galeano Sanchez, great conversation with her. She won. She had to move that last 3/4 of a mile, and she got the win by about 13 seconds. So good meet. It's at St. James Farm. I love St. James Farm. I love when you're coming up that little incline at the end of the race, and you see the building there, and it looks so cool. You have a point to get to, and then you have the finish line, and then you collapse. Where else? Nike cross country town. So here's one thing that I always think of. And Indiana, it's mainly an Indiana meet. There's some teams from out of state that come, some from Ohio, some from Illinois, some from Missouri. So teams that want to have a test run at Laverne Gibson. The highest team finisher on the boys' side was Plainfield South. They finished 11th. And they had a nice pack from 2 to 5. They have it 11 seconds, but you can't do anything with that when you're 82 seconds behind your front runner. In this case, Dylan Maloney. Dylan ran a great race, finished 6th overall. Ben Crane, whoever said that he was injured, les idiots. Using a, what was that word? What did I want to use here? What? Oh, that's my cynical narrative. So, Plainfield South looks okay. These Indiana schools, I mean, if one of those teams had run in double digits, a double digit score, then I'd be impressed. 169 points, come on. They won. Congratulations. Bloomington North surprised me a little bit. Columbus North always has a good program. Bloomington North does too. And we saw St. Louis University got 6th in that race. And they finished 3rd last week at Palatine. They're a good team. Whether they're good a week after their state meet, that's a big question. I don't understand this. Indiana schools have a week off. They don't run the following week after their state meet. Then they have a week off. Then they go to NXR Midwest. And then they have to give us the keys to Laverne Gibson because we own the joint then. The Illinois teams usually rule. That's how it's been the last few years. Maybe this year it changes, but I doubt it. It'll be interesting. We'll see how they improve. We'll see how they run. They have 2 weeks of state series, and then they go into their state meet on November 2nd. Everything goes in November. Everything gets pushed back a little bit, except for some states like Alaska was this weekend. Our first state meet, done. I didn't look at the results for that. So Plainfield South, Friend was 2 places back. Their pack was all over the place. But consider how many runners you had in that race, and it's easy to get spread out at Laverne Gibson. Unless you're prospect girls who know how to pack on that course. They've run that course so many times. And they ran well. They ran great. So Friend was their prospect had like its boys team had a 29-second split. They were like 15th. And then Lyons Township and then New Trier. So 19th and 21st out of 44 teams. Those are some of the Illinois teams there. So Ben Crane running 14:49, Dylan Maloney 14:52, pretty good. Never mentioned Ben Crane in the previews. Oh well. On the girls' side, Prospect really moved well during that race. Um, with a mile to go, they were in third place. They moved up one place. Carmel was in second with a mile to go, and they ended up winning it. Carmel has a pretty good team. But then you have to realize this, Indiana people. The Prospect is ranked fourth, maybe fifth, with Minooka ahead. Some people say Minooka's ahead. Some people say that Prospect is ahead. But then you have three really tough teams: York, Barrington, Downers Grove North, ahead of Prospect. So you're thinking, oh, it's going to be a breeze. We won at Nike Cross Country Town. Not so fast. It's going to change. Prospect, three runners, three in the top 32 with Zenaida. I'm just guessing, but she's a team runner, and she held back a little bit to run with Meg Peterson, and Ireland Wildheart got 32nd. So they had three up there. They're fourth and fifth. They're getting closer. They're getting closer. So pretty cool thing there. Peoria. No, I never considered going. So that's one thing. To get and to wake up early in the morning like I have been all September, and yesterday leaving here at 6:45 in the morning to get over to St. James, that was a respite, a little bit of a respite. So that was a nice thing. On the girls' side, Chatham Glenwood, 63-second split. Their split's coming down a little bit. Their 2 through 5 is pretty good right now. And they're the top team in the state. Oh, we no. I'm no notes here. I'm not checking things off. Oh, got to mention this. We got to mention Prospect, and then we have to mention the two individuals that were in the top 10 for Illinois runners at Nike Cross Country Town. Annika Swan battled, and that's really impressive. She's going to have to deal with Sunny Weber, who's going to be running at Twilight this week. She's going to have to go after Sunny Weber, and it's going to be just like Becca Heidsieck. Weber is a strong runner. I don't know if she has a kick like Swan does. We'll see. We have a month to find out yet. On Wednesday, month till state. And then Isabella Keller. Boy. Well, it helps that you have a dad that knows about running. It's pretty good that it's very good that you have a sister who ran at Detweiler Park 4 times and was 4-0. But her running instincts, they impressed me last year as a freshman. I was really impressed with the way that she ran at NXN, the way that she ran at NXR Midwest, and the way that she ran last year at this meet. Okay, sure, she was about 10 seconds slower than she was last year, but she's run 15:50. She ran 15:58 last year at Spartan Classic a week before this race, and this year was 15:59. So she knows what she's doing, and plus the fact she was 18 through 20th, somewhere in there, at the mile on last night, and she moved and she moved and she caught Swan right near the end to get fourth. Pretty cool. So Keller fourth, Swan sixth. Pretty good racing there. So back to Peoria. Chan Glenwood looked good, winning easily. Zoe Carter. Now, Natalie Bierbaum did not run. She was not entered in the race. I don't know why. It would be nice to see the results, but I saw the live results. Nevertheless, Zoe Carter goes out and wins by about 20 seconds over Lundgren. Allie Lundgren of Chatham Glenwood. But Zoe Carter runs 16:54. And then afterwards, I see posts on Instagram and everywhere else where Zoe made a verbal commitment to attend Yale University. So Zoe, congratulations, making smart moves already. And she'll be in the hunt. She's a great runner, two-time All-American as a junior. That's saying a lot there. So great job, Zoe, on your win. Um, on the boys' side, maybe the best race of the weekend outside of what we saw in Terre Haute. Finn Richards, 14:22. Only two runners, Richards and then Gavin O'Connor, Brother Rice, 14:42, and then his teammate was 15 minutes in third. There were only two runners in that race that ran under 15 minutes. Um, hmm. Somebody's trying to call me. Oh, well. Um, Richards running 14:22 is impressive. The fastest time of the day. Nitz of Huntley ran 14:42 in the 3A race, and then Thomas of Edwardsville. Was it Thomas or was it Edwardsville runner 14:45 in second? Team-wise on the boys' side, let's move on. Morton ran in the would have won the race. They ran in the 2A, 3A level, or the 1A, 2A, or 3A level, and they got fourth. Normal University won. Had a nice split. Um, they're going to be ready. I think they remember what happened last year at state, and they don't want that to happen again. Sean Cabe was their top runner, finished 11th, but they packed it up nicely. 3A girls, Huntley ranked number 9, was ahead of Edwardsville by, I want to say, 14, 15 points, but Huntley wins. It went by form by rankings. Huntley was 9, Edwardsville was 10th ranked in 3A, and Maine South was 3rd. They were the next highest ranked school there. They were ranked 18th going into this week, but they looked well, finishing 3rd. Stella Davis winning from Evanston about 17:49, and Sophia Curry of Maine South at 17:52. So a pretty good run there by both of those runners. 4 or 5 runners under 18 minutes in that race. On the boys' side, so the last race finished at Wheaton at St. James, and I'm watching my phone. I'm watching this race develop in the 3A race. And Sandberg had the lead going into the final mile. Now, Sandberg's only raced twice. They ran at LT, and then they ran 2 weeks ago at Peoria, Notre Dame. Didn't have their best race. They had a good race yesterday. Edwardsville, if anybody's doubting Edwardsville, don't. They're good. They're really good. They won. Coming from behind in the final mile, 61-75. York and Edwardsville, again, 53-second split and 5. So with more, they were able to win that because it wasn't a talented field with all these all-state runners. There's a handful of great runners in there. Only 3 runners under 15 minutes in that race. That's the way it is. That's what happens. So Sandberg looked really good. They will move up into the top 10 considerably. It doesn't matter though, because they will run well. They'll win their conference meet, and they go into the regionals and sectionals. They'll be no, they won't be one of the favorites. Downers Grove North is there. Duh. Downers Grove, yeah. So York 3rd, and I want to get into something else. York 3rd, Patrick Hill. And everybody's been talking about him. Here's this freshman that's running great. He's like their number 2, number 3 runner, running in different races. He goes out. He didn't take a big siesta in the middle mile. I think he was out in 4:56, ran 5:16, 5:17, 5:18, something like that for the second mile. And then he ran sub-5 for the third mile. And he was York's #1 runner. York's still trying to figure things out. They did move up towards the end. They were at, I want to say, at 2 miles, they were at about 143 points, and they finished with 118. So they did move up nicely towards the end. And they still had a 33, 34, 35-second split on 5, under 20 seconds from 2 to 5. So it's getting another runner, getting Bradford Saltillo's coming in nicely. So getting maybe another runner up there with Hill, it's going to be interesting. We have a month to go. They're still trying to figure out their top 7. And they may not have it figured out until regionals, or maybe sectionals, or maybe state. Who knows? So otherwise, Niles West, Evan Parker, 14:42, winning it. Peyton, 60 points, winning over St. Ignatius. Burps. 2 top 10 teams in Class 2A, but Peyton looks really good. Latin at Lyle main event, they looked good. They're still #1 in Class 2A. That's not going to change. Eureka wins at Elmwood, pretty good meet. Closer than I thought, about 17 points between Eureka and Elmwood. And Eureka's pack from 2 to 5 has been close. It kind of widened out a little bit. So those two teams will meet at Amboy in a few weeks, and that should be a great race. And Aurora Central Catholic, who finished second behind Lanton School, will be at Amboy too. So Amboy is going to be lights out this year. It always is lights out. It's a little country setting on a little golf course, a hilly first mile, a flat second mile, and then repeat the first mile, and then come in exhausted. But that's what cross country is all about, I'm telling you. So we'll have a recap out tonight. I was watching Bears game, drifting off, a little bit tired. We have Naperville Twilight. You'll see a preview of that at the beginning of the week. I'll put it out on Thursday. And then we have a bunch of the smaller meets. We have Wheeling, we have Metamora, we have Sterling, we have East Altonwood River. And then we go into conference meets after Amboy. A lot of conference meets, and then Friday and Saturday, it's just hello. And then we get ready for regionals, which I don't know if there's any one regional that jumps out. But here again, it's 3 weeks until regionals, so I'll just shut up, okay? Any case, that's it. I'm well under 30 minutes unless I start to babble for 5 minutes. But looking at the forecast for the next 2 weeks, we must have a high pressure system. It's beautiful. It was beautiful this morning when I woke up. Beautiful now. Nice breeze coming through. But we're going to be in the 60s, 70s for the next 2 weeks. Maybe a chance of rain on a Sunday or a Monday. But we're going to have dry courses. We may have fast times. Wouldn't it be funny? This isn't funny, but wouldn't it be funny? Hinsdale at KLM is hosting a 2A regional and a 2A sectional the following week, or 2A regional, excuse me. The following week, they're hosting 2A and 3A sectionals. What happens if it rains? And will the course be 2.9 miles or 3 miles? We'll know that right before the race begins. Who knows? I don't know. I'm excited. It's October. We're almost a month away from the state meet. And this is a cool time of the year. It really is. It's been warm enough where we haven't seen any leaves change. That was good. They have hickory walnut trees on the trails at St. James. I stayed away from them. I learned my lesson last week getting bonked by one of them. But it's not worth that. So we have a lot of neat things coming up this week. Rankings will come out Wednesday, probably late Wednesday, while I'm at Naperville. We'll see. And we have Twilight on Wednesday. And then we have a bunch of little meets, and we have Amboy. And we'll come on next Sunday. We will I was going to do it on Monday. No, but we'll do it on Sunday. Let's do it on Sunday. Um, so, with that being said, everybody have a great week. Enjoy this weather. Get your workouts in. This is workout time. These are the final workouts that will matter, putting hay in the barn and getting ready to run, realizing your dreams. I really like that phrase. So until the next time that we talk, if I see you at Naperville Twilight on Wednesday, this is Mike Newman, ILXCTF.com, and DISTAT, and Runner Space, and National Director in charge of not cross-country rankings, but rankings on athletic.net. Everybody have a great week. Enjoy this weather, and we'll see you next Sunday on the next edition of this show. Talk to you later. Goodbye.